Hi all, and welcome to another electrifying installment of X-RL7 Backstage, the making of behind-the-scenes sister series of X-RL7. Today we're looking at episode 6 and the introduction of the Duke, voiced by the incredible Mikey AlterRed. We also meet the character Smith, played by series regular Lee Towson.
I know just the person.
But first, some general bits about the episode. So I'm not a huge advocate of general media's sensationalist style of reporting. You know, there was a picture I saw a few years ago that really stuck with me, and I try to reference it here. It shows what was seen on TV on a news report about a particular event, a group of people behind tape being interviewed, and the framing made it look like there was loads of them struggling to all get in the shot. Then it showed how this same scene looked from way behind the camera, and it was actually an empty town square with only a small group of people. If you only saw the first version of that, your perception of that event could be skewed simply by the way it was presented. The subtle language of reporting as well can greatly influence how you emotionally perceive a situation, or how the news outlet is encouraging you to view a particular event. I tried to lightly touch upon that in this episode, a commentary on the lack of impartiality in modern journalism. But anyway, this episode introduces a significant character to the series. Musical legend, the Duke.
I always get what I want.
Back when I was working on X-RL7 as a game, I actually had this character back then. I see him as somewhat of a cultural music icon, in the vein of someone like David Bowie, thus the name The Duke being a little nod to one of his stage personas. A theatrical, innovative artist whom is also a big player in the music industry and has all sorts of interesting connections. But who to voice such a bold character? In my mind, it could only be Mikey AlterRed of the band AlterRed. Mikey is an amazing performer. He's absolutely mesmerizing to watch and has such a powerful, distinctive voice and style. I first became aware of AlterRed as Duncan Catterall, the video director who shot and edited my band Mixy One's video for our song This Is Not Goodbye, also did various videos for AlterRed. Through the years, Mikey and I would exchange messages online, and when the character of the Duke came up, it had to be Mikey. So, let's hear from the Duke himself. Mikey, who are you?
Who am I? I'm Mikey AlterRed, the singer, songwriter and producer of the band AlterRed. AlterRed's an electro hard rock outfit formed in 2008. The idea behind AlterRed was to have a hard rock vibe. I'm a big fan of hard rock and mix a lot of electronic elements in with it. I'm also a big fan of electronic music. We're now working on our 7th studio album, which should be out either later this year or early next year. I got involved in this series when Mike contacted me a few years back. I think it's 2017. He wanted me to do some voiceover work for him. We talked about some background stuff I'd done on films like Kick-Ass 2, Muppets Most Wanted, and most recently How to Build a Girl. And he asked me if I was interested in doing some animated voice work, and I jumped at the chance. I thought, yeah, this would be brilliant, great fun. He asked me originally to do the voice for a character for X-RL7, the video game. That didn't happen, but he came up with some other ideas. He had Project Anything going at the time, and he asked me to play a character called Xander Black, who was a gothic rock star, who was a bit of a fey kind of character, but he was brilliant fun to voice.
Step into my darkness and experience the world of black.
I also played the Robo leader in Robo Hunter, which was great fun too.
We shall ascend to our rightful place as gods above.
Duke's voice is based on two characters. He's based on the character Bricktop from Guy Ritchie's film Snatch, played by Alan Ford. I loved the idea of having a version of Alan Ford's Bricktop, this sort of like East End cartoon comic book gangster, bit of a nasty guy but also very witty and funny.
Is that one wearing a helmet indoors? How tacky.
And of course, David Bowie. I wanted to use the idea that David Bowie stopped being a huge rock star and actually became a huge kind of behind the scenes kind of mastermind of the music industry. So the Duke being this former rock star himself who's now obsessed with the occult and runs a huge music conglomerate and has become this music industry icon, pulling the strings behind the scenes, calling the shots for all the newer artists.
Minty.
Minty. So in the first episode I did for Mike, there was a line about the Duke wanting his tea more minty.
Make this tea more minty.
We had a laugh with that. We liked the idea of him only smoking menthol cigarettes, him eating polos, or mints, and drinking minty tea. And that became a bit of a thing. We played about with it for a bit, and it's sort of become the Duke's catchphrase now. In fact, I use the phrase minty around the house an awful lot. Me and my partner Charlotte often kind of say minty when we get something that's a bit minty. I will be using my singing voice, yes. Mike asked me back in the middle of 2019 when he first came up with X-RL7 how I'd feel about doing some songs for the Duke and being the singing voice for the Duke, and I loved that idea. He sent me a couple of tracks. I listened to them, thought they were great songs, really well written, some great ideas. We did the big...
Whoa, there's some great Duke songs coming up in the series, but not for a few episodes, so we'll come back to this later. Anyway.
It's a fascinating series. It's really interesting. At first when Mike sent it to me, I didn't quite get my head around what it was he was trying to do. But over time, he's roped in so many amazing, talented people. Like Richard from Machine Rocks is involved. Some other people who I won't spoiler for you right now, but there's some great performers involved in this. Each person has their own little character, their own little arc. And I really like that it's so funny. It's so it's its own thing. It doesn't really try to be anything it's not. I've not seen anything like it. I'm absolutely stoked to be part of it. It's great fun. Really hope we can do so much more in the future.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you hear from Mikey, please do give AlterRed some love, as they are a fantastic band, and we'll be seeing plenty more Duke in the upcoming episodes. If you'd like to support X-RL7, as well as subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing, and all that good stuff, please do consider joining the X-RL7 Patreon. We have great rewards there, including more behind-the-scenes content, early access, exclusive music, and more. Plus, it really helps the series and means a lot. Thanks again, have a good one, and speak soon.